is. Hello. Welcome back from the weekend.
Happy Monday.
Monday. Curt and Jen in the morning. This is our pod and video cast. And what do you got down here, Jen? This is the final week for 2024.
Yeah. Last week of the year. That's crazy.
Every time we get here going, has it really been a year already? But yes, it turns out that it has.
Ringing in 2025. Mm-hmm. What, tomorrow night, right?
True. And we have a fun party to attend.
Yeah.
Thanks for the invite on that to go see the Lances on New Year's Eve.
Lance Sellers.
Sad news we have to share with you.
Yes.
One of the things that, on the show today, we have, the fact
Sad news.
President Carter, yes. The latest Seahawks and Kraken news as well. And is Jen a billionaire?
Right.
We're going to find out.
Might be a hint that I'm sitting in this chair right now.
Uh-huh. We have also a new option if you want to eat cookies for breakfast.
Okay.
Right?
Yep. Mispronounced words, not pronounced.
Yes.
And something you've always wanted to do but keep putting off.
Yes, we'll have your answers for that as well. No transition music here because it'll be all upbeat and stuff.
Yes,
and
okay.
it is sad that fun. Well, I mean, 100 years old. That is a life.
That's a life well lived, if you ask me. I mean, it's sad that President Jimmy Carter passed away yesterday.
At the age of 100.
100 U.S. years old.
Any years, yes, but I like U.S. years. So, yeah, he had been in hospice for quite some time, actually, and finally passed away yesterday. Here's a quote that I like from Jimmy Carter, because I think he was better known after his presidency for the humanitarian things he did.
Okay.
What is it? What's humanity? That's not Hope for Humanity. The one they build houses.
Habitat for Humanity.
Yes, that's the one. He was involved with that a lot. A quote from Jimmy Carter: "My faith demands, and this is not optional, my faith demands that I do whatever I can, wherever I am, whenever I can, for as long as I can, with whatever I have to try to make a difference."
That's a lot of words.
That is a lot of words.
But I like him.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are coming out saying what a great man he was. It's too bad that his presidency is going to kind of go down as being like, meh. But the stuff he lived his life after his presidency exactly the way that you probably should.
Did he have a message to young people?
From President Biden.
Oh, okay.
He said to all the young people, this is about Jimmy Carter, to all the young people in this nation and anyone in search of what it means to live a life of purpose and meaning, the good life, study Jimmy Carter, a man of principle, faith, and humility. Further saying, Jimmy Carter showed that we are a great nation because we are good people, decent and honorable, courageous and compassionate, humble and strong.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Good man. Do you want to live to be 100?
Yeah. As long as I am of sound body and mind.
Right.
Yeah.
All the
Absolutely.
things? Okay.
Absolutely. More sad news. We're just a barrel of fun today.
Well, on a smaller scale, sad news. The Seahawks have been eliminated from postseason for this year. Boo.
Here's the deal.
What's the deal?
They were eliminated because they were relying on the fate of other teams to make the playoffs, which, in my opinion, you should be making the playoffs on your own merit.
That is true. Once you get to the point where it's like, well, if this team wins and these people win and this person loses and we win this game, then we have a...
Yeah.
By the way, the chances that they had prior to the game, they said, this is after Seahawks beat the Bears on Thursday night, like, hey, we're still in it, possibly. Even at that point, they said it was a 1% chance.
Well, and the fact that the Commanders beat the Falcons last night, that's what knocked them out.
Because now the Rams, that's becoming like vegetable soup, not vegetable soup, but alphabet soup. Gosh, it's early. So the LA Rams will be the ones, they'll be possibly going to the playoffs, not the Seattle Seahawks. Kraken, however, had a great comeback game. You look at this and say, well, how did you get down to the point where you were at a loss 4-1 with just 4 minutes left to go in the game, Kraken? They were playing Vancouver on Saturday. They came back to win it.
In 4 minutes, they scored 5 goals?
Well, they scored 3 goals. It was 4-1. So they scored 3 goals to tie it up.
Okay.
And then they got a goal in overtime. And so they won 5-4. That was exciting.
In overtime, is it that sudden death thing?
Well, that's what happens if the overtime period goes by and nobody scores, and they go to the shootout, which we don't like. So no, they just
that's terrible.
It was on the one hand, it's hard not to say, "Wow, what a great comeback story." On the other hand, it's like, "Well, how did you get in that position in the first place?"
Right.
Peeps? All right, there we go. Now,
that's exciting though. Don't leave early.
Don't leave early.
That's the message there.
You mentioned, Jen, and I noticed as well that the house is not nearly as Christmassy as it was last time you were here.
Not Christmassy at all. I walk in. Well, first of all, my first clue that it was that, they took down the Christmas tree in the room where we podcast because it gave a nice glow from your window outside.
Over there. It's true.
Gone.
Well.
Then I walk in, I'm like, Christmas is gone.
Well, isn't that what you do when it's time to take, whenever the day is, it's like you don't do it in bits and pieces. You're like, okay.
I know, but your day was like the day after Christmas? What was it?
Yesterday, actually.
Okay.
Yesterday.
So you enjoyed a little bit longer.
It was a lot. We actually, Dana's like, well, we need to get another, big bin. It's like, how is that possible? We've been trying to get
because you bought new stuff.
We bought
That's
new
why.
Stuff. Exactly. But it
all
was
right. Well, bye Christmas in the cruise house. My Christmas goes away probably between tomorrow and Wednesday.
Okay.
Because I got to take my tree down.
But
today.
will you immediately go into the next? What are you going to put up next?
Well, that's a good question.
New Year's you don't do because New Year's lasts for like.
Well, the next holiday would be Valentine's Day. But I think what I'm going to do is to keep a winter motif. So I think I might keep my snowmen up for a little bit and then transition.
You can't go wrong with snowmen.
Nope, you
honestly,
can't.
As far as I'm concerned.
Nope. Agreed.
So today, in addition to being, the Seahawks were eliminated and President Carter died, but the good news.
There is good news. It's National Bacon Day, people.
I shouldn't be comparing those two.
I would be celebrating. I think I might. I'm going to get me some bacon because I love it so much, and I'm going to consume it to celebrate.
Not to do a free plug for our friend Sean O'Donnell's, but their bacon is phenomenal. Have you ever gotten the side of bacon?
No.
Oh,
I think I've eaten your side of bacon,
which
sounds kind of dirty, I guess. Okay, move on.
All right, so
your side of bacon, Curt.
Hey, baby, are you a billionaire? Are you a billionaire? Possibly.
I do not live in California. I did not buy my Mega Millions ticket in California. Therefore, I am not a billionaire. There was one winning ticket for Friday's over $1 billion jackpot.
It's true.
It was sold in California. Therefore, it's not I.
And there, you're going to still be doing this podcast for at least a while yet.
And it doesn't even pay us any U.S. dollars anyway. So me saying that means nothing.
Neither does the lottery. So far, you've made the same amount of money on the lottery as you have.
Yeah, but if you don't play, you can't even win. Even if the odds are 1 in a trillion, it doesn't matter. You could be that one in a trillion.
Well, I forgot to go get my ticket too. So
I almost forgot too, and I dragged my child Macy, my youngest daughter, and her friend who was over playing games.
Said,
"Like, get
we're
in the
getting
car.
the ticket.
We got to go become billionaires."
Can we pass on this next story? I think it's boring.
Frank Sinatra scores the first top 100 album on Billboard 200 chart in more than a decade. Frank Sinatra is not alive anymore, is he?
He is not alive anymore. That's true.
And so why did you put that in there?
I don't know.
Because
we were looking for content.
Because he's dead and he's
Frank Sinatra. It's because he's returned to the top 10 on the Billboard 200 with his Ultimate Christmas album, which has been out for a few years at least.
Only a few?
Came out in 2017.
Huh. Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know how often Frank Sinatra has been on the Billboard top 200 recently, but I think it's over a decade. Like I said, I didn't think that this story had legs. I just threw it in there.
Well, it still is interesting. Okay.
Are you okay with it being interesting?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Now, I only know about Oreo O's because you introduced me to Oreo O's, the cereal, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, this was, the cereal supposed to taste like Oreos, shaped like little donuts.
Debuted back in 1997.
And then it went away. It was discontinued in 2007, and then it was brought back in 2017.
Okay, I was going to say, because we just had it.
Right.
Okay.
Oreo O's are going away.
Yeah.
They're going to be replaced by...
Oh, wait, they're going away again.
They're going away to be replaced by Oreo Puffs. So now, and this supposedly, I don't know if this is with new technology now. They're like, oh, new technology, we can make it taste more like Oreos.
We're going to puff
you up. So the O-shaped bites have gone. In their place, puffy little morsels that promise to bring the same chocolatey goodness with a side of marshmallows.
With a side of marshmallows?
I thought that...
Is that the creamy filling marshmallow?
I don't think so in the Oreo. I don't think that it is, no. But I guess they're putting that in the cereal as a substitute.
Huh, okay.
We will
try it.
Okay.
We will try that ultra-processed food product when it comes out, just because we want you to know.
When we tried the Oreo O's ultra-processed food, I was like, this tastes kind of like Oreos, but there was a funky aftertaste. So maybe the new ones
will be better.
We'll get rid of that. But you also have an Oreo story.
Well, the way you eat an Oreo says something about your personality.
So is this, let me see. So what are the options? Is there two options, crunched up or split it apart?
I must be schizophrenic because sometimes I tear my Oreo apart. You know what I mean? Like you take the top layer off.
And you can, therefore you have access to the creamy filling.
Right, direct access to not be tainted by the cookie part.
Yeah. If that's your thing. But this actually has it broken down in other ways as well. So.
Right. So think about how you eat an Oreo cookie, and then we will go through and you can determine if this is correct or not.
Is it just these 4? There's 6.
Yeah, there's 6 ways. If you eat the whole cookie at once, like you just pop it in your mouth, you are a fun person that's carefree and lives life on the edge a bit.
Well, I think that's me because I usually do a 1 bite.
You just pop it right in your mouth.
Well, sometimes you have the minis. The minis you obviously just pop right
Dad. No, we're talking about the standard Oreo. We're not talking about any other variation. The standard Oreo cookie.
Listen, I don't separate them. That's not one of my options. So
Okay.
I either do it in like 2 bites or 1.
Okay. If you eat your cookie 1 bite at a time, you aren't super creative, but super lucky.
All right, These
are kind of what.
Well, did you decide how you do it?
I will tell you.
Okay.
If you eat your cookie in a methodical way, wonder what that means.
You're a goody 2-shoes and follow all the rules. What's a methodical way? That sounds to me like chomp, 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 chomp. Bites.
If you nibble on your cookie.
Stop it, Jim.
If you nibble on your cookie, you are loved by management because you are a hard worker that gets stuff done.
That sounds like that. Those are the kind of people that want to make the cookie last. We got 1 cookie. I'm going to make this last 20 minutes.
I'm just going to take a little bite and put it down. That is not me.
Okay, now get into the dunking.
If you dunk your cookie, you are the life of the party. Everyone loves you because you have a fun personality. No, I don't dunk my cookie.
All right. Would you stop having those thoughts?
If you twist your cookie, what does this even mean? If you twist your cookie and another?
I guess that means if you twist the 2 apart. I don't know.
You are a curious one and always like to learn. That's probably the most, like, how I mostly eat the cookie. Otherwise, I break it in half and probably eat it in quarters.
Okay. But you will take it apart. But then when you're facing, so do you eat the...
I don't really love the creamy filling so much.
Oh, okay.
I love that creamy filling in the chocolate Oreo. Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate.
I didn't know that. I'm sitting here holding my hands out like I've got 2 pieces of a cookie.
All right, there you go. Hopefully you can fit into one of those categories if you'd like. And it explains who you are. So silly.
We found year end, so there's a lot of year end lists and stuff like that. And we found that people said, here are the list of the most pronounced words. Mispronounced. I said it too. Mispronounced words. And first we were watching a video. It was taking forever, so we found a list that we think, this is not a full list, but they're saying here are the most mispronounced words, like the most mispronounced.
I wish you would have pulled that song so we could have done that word.
What word?
Sabrina Carpenter, the espresso song?
Yes. Espresso.
Espresso.
That's the first on the list here of most mispronounced words. It's espresso, not espresso.
Well, it's espresso when I go in the carpool lane.
Because you call them the espresso lanes. This one I did not know. According to Merriam-Webster, there is no, you can either say either or either.
There's no either.
That's what Merriam-Webster says. It's either. Either is the pronunciation.
Poke your eyes out. There's no eithers.
People mispronounce the month of February. Which is just hard to say. Not February. All right. What else do we have?
I don't know. I say this wrong. I say mischievous, not mischief. How do you say it?
Mischievous. Yeah.
Mischievous.
There's no extra I here.
I know.
Yeah.
Mischievous.
Well, you're not alone. A lot of people do that. Mischievous is the way it's pronounced.
But they've accepted that other version of it, even though the letters don't even make sense in the word.
And which is a little frustrating. Not that you have to be too.
I know that's because you're a stickler.
Well, it's like, okay, you can't just say, you know what, we give up. People screw up the word all the time. We're just going to put it in here that way. That's what happened with funner and funnest. When I was growing up, those weren't words.
Yeah. Arctic. Not Arctic. Arctic. I knew that one.
All right.
Macaron.
Yes.
I know it's macaron, not macaroon, but there are 2 different cookies.
That's what I was going to say.
There's a macaron and a macaroon.
Okay.
And a macaroon is spelled with 2. I'm pretty sure
O's.
with 2 O's, right?
I think so. Are you looking it up?
I am. Keep going.
We have People that say ex cetera instead of et cetera. That's a big one. I did not know this next one.
It's 2 O's, by the way.
Okay, for the macaroons.
Macaroons, which is like coconut. That's the coconut macaroon. And there's the macaron. That's the little, the sandwich kind.
Delish. Evidently, it's always the word is gala, not gala.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that one either.
I like gala better anyway. It sounds
We'll say it
fancier.
that way.
It's
Salmon
gala.
and not salmon. We all know that here. I guess a lot of the rest of the country maybe says salmon.
Because there's an L in the word.
Yeah, but there's silent letters in lots of words.
I just watched this comedian. I forget his name. He was funny. He was talking. It was a whole thing about silent letters in the English language. And then he pronounced the silent letters. And so everything sounded funny.
I think I know who that is. And I can't think of his name either. So
Okay, keep going. I'll tell you.
This one should be acai, but it is not. Acai.
Oh my God. That word gets me every time.
4 letters.
Acai. Come on.
A-C-A-I. Like you look at the salad.
Acai.
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 Yeah, not acai. How about often? The T is silent. It's not often.
Michael McIntyre, I think. It's
Okay. That's not...
Michael McIntyre.
Got it. He's the one that talked
Look him
about
up.
the
It's funny. The whole silent letters in the English
The
language.
T in often is silent because I say often, but it's often. Often.
No, that's how you say it that's how you say it is
Well,
often?
If you can find
Not often?
If you can find a Merriam or a Webster and say, hey, I disagree, you can. But Merriam-Webster says it's often. Not often.
No way.
All right. The word N-I-C-H-E.
Is niche?
No, niche. I also thought it was niche.
Oh my God, I'm learning so much on this show today.
Maybe that's the French or the
How
original
often?
pronunciation.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to get used to it often. I thought it was often, and it's not niche, it's niche.
This is, again, according to, these can be challenged, obviously.
Can you use niche? I'm putting you on the spot, but you're a smart guy. Can you use that in a sentence?
Niche?
Yeah.
Our podcast appeals to a very niche group of people.
Niche sounds better.
I think I might have even screwed up the example.
Oh, this one I want to know for sure.
GIF. People will send
GIF.
you. No.
It's not GIF, it's GIF?
GIF stands for Graphics Interchange Format, which I had to look up.
It should be GIF, right? The right word to say it is GIF.
GIF. Like the peanut butter.
Shut up.
Steve Wilhite, the guy who invented the GIFs, says it's GIF. But it should be GIF. You're right.
You even in the word graphic, it's the hard G.
Mm-hmm. It's not giraffic.
No.
Now you're getting all mad.
That's crazy talk. Okay.
He says
moving
it's GIF.
on.
All right. Hopefully that helps a little bit in some way, shape, or
We
form.
just learned a lot of things there.
All right. This is important.
Yeah, this is like a little public
pass
service
along.
announcement.
Go ahead.
Well, there's just these big news stories right now about the animal shelters, local animal shelters. They have so many animals that need adopting. They need homes.
Right.
Like so many. Like they're making cages in areas of the office parts of the shelters. And so if you're considering getting a dog.
And we saw this specifically about the Tacoma Pierce County Humane Society. But,
yes. But it's all of them.
Yeah. Please, as we've said many times in the past, even when we were on the radio, make adoption your first option. Please consider adoption. They could use the help. That's not saying, okay, we don't really want a dog, we're going to go get one. If you're considering getting a dog, please make. And
they're mostly dogs that are a year or older. And they're going to waive fee. If you adopt a dog that's a year or older, they're going to waive the adoption fee between January 2nd and 5th.
Right. This is at Tacoma Pierce County Humane Society.
Yes. So please.
At least consider it.
Yeah. Or foster a dog. You could foster a dog. I would have a hard time letting it go later.
That's actually my plan with my wife.
You're going to foster a dog, and then you're going to love them so much.
Can we foster them for a couple weeks?
Did you say a couple dogs?
It's a long story. I'll tell you when it gets here.
Okay.
I just kind of think if you go out and you find a litter that was, abandoned or whatever, which is sad, but I want to get at least a couple pups from the same litter or dogs from the same litter.
But you don't want to have babies.
No, two would have babies. Baby dogs are way easier than baby humans.
I don't know about that.
All right.
This is the question of the day from Friday.
Yes.
Last week. What's something you've always wanted to do but keep putting off? That's what we want to know.
You know what mine is? Read. I actually sit down with a book and read a book. I mean, I read news all the time.
You want to read a book. So it's not read, it's read a book.
Yeah. I'm in the process of doing that because my wife bought me a nice book for Christmas.
What book is it?
I don't remember the title. It's about, well, no, it's nonfiction.
Oh, okay.
It's about what happened basically with the music industry and the record companies and all that kind of stuff.
Interesting. So, okay.
And when I get the title of it, I will let you know.
Here are some of your answers. Jackie said, write a book. Mm-hmm. I hold back out of fear of not being good enough. Okay. Jackie!
Write a book. That'd be cool.
Write a book. Write your book.
Did we get your answer, by the way, of what you keep putting off?
There's many things I put off. I'm like one big put off.
Yeah, I'd also say learn a language. I know,
Cleaning my garage.
That's something you've always wanted to do, but keep putting off? All right. Randy says an Alaska cruise. Make it happen, Randy. Those are awesome. The Alaska cruises.
Randy, let's go on a cruise. I'll go on an Alaska cruise with you and Carrie.
Yeah. Leslie Ann, running a marathon. She says, I fear I'll be too slow. You're not too slow.
Leslie, first of all, just being in a marathon is badassery happening. I know Leslie, she's not going to be too slow. She's a PE teacher. She's a badass, for real. Leslie, run the marathon if that's
finishing
what you want to do.
I mean, shoot, that would be, if you finish it, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Stephanie, I've always wanted to write a children's book. What is stopping me? Time to do so. I'm actually hoping to start this next year.
Oh,
okay,
I hope you do, Stephanie. Let us know.
Yeah.
Laurel says a trip to Ireland with Steve. Laurel, make it happen.
That's her husband. Different Steven says backcountry hiking. This is what he's always wanted to do, but has been putting off. I feel like I'm not good enough fitness for that. Well, you know what? A lot of people, I think.
That would stop me.
Yeah.
For real.
You know, that's one of my things with people like, you need to go do hot yoga. And I was like, I haven't done regular yoga. I'm not going to jump right into hot yoga and pass out.
You wouldn't pass out.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So, Stephen, what I'm going to say about that is I think you just start.
Backcountry hiking.
Yeah. Just start doing little hikes, mini hikes to work up to it.
Eric said he wants to visit Hamarøy, Norway.
Oh.
Did I say that right?
I hope he's able to do that. Eric, I hope you're able to do that.
Barb, when I retired, I wanted to get on a ship, excuse me, and cruise around the world. Family obligations have cost have prevented me from going. I still hope to go someday. Yes,
you will, Barb. Make
Absolutely.
It happen. Mm-hmm. Maya said, I want to go to Europe. Things that have been in the way. Children, pets, other trips came up instead. Mm-hmm. Not enough vacation time. At times, I had no one to go with me. Money.
Well, those are all the reasons.
There's a lot of reasons that she hasn't been able to make that happen. And there was so many reasons I hadn't either until 2 years ago when the alls went. But
there is a great reason to make those things happen.
It is. Because here's the thing. You're not getting younger. So traveling just becomes harder as you get older.
Pat also said he's got to go to Europe. It hasn't happened yet because of work commitments.
Lots of go to Europe. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to learn the guitar, and failure is stopping me. I'm so afraid of not getting it that I haven't tried.
You know what's tough about that was when I have a friend that's starting to play guitar, and he's 60. And you got to go back to Mary Had a Little Lamb and Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star and all that kind of stuff. You got to start with the basics. And that's hard when people are like, I want to learn how to play, blah, blah, blah.
You know what's so funny, Curt, is if we're reading these?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are some of my reasons too, right? And when you're reading them about other people, you're like, oh my gosh.
I'm not alone.
No, well, it's more like that makes me so sad that you're stopping because you're afraid you're going to fail. You're not going to fail for trying because trying is already a success.
Trying's already a success. I love that. Did you make that up or is that a phrase?
No, I mean, I feel like it's a thing.
Trying is already a success.
Like if you don't try, you failed.
I think that's awesome.
Right?
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. I thought if that's a Jen Piragism, that's an awesome one.
And I'm going to say his last name. Patrick Harrison is being a show off. He said move to Europe and then he puts a check mark.
Done.
He did. He and Ron, they are awesome human beings and they make what happened in their lives. They just make it happen.
Yep.
They moved to Europe.
I like, you know what? And I don't know, it's not everybody can do that. But if you set that as a goal, it's like, hey, you know what? Eventually we want to live in Europe. We're going to start planning now or whatever. You can certainly make that happen. Or wherever you want to.
You can do, if you want to do it, just do it.
Just do it.
Make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Make it happen for yourself.
Trying is already success. I really like that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, yes, because not trying is failure. It's automatic failure, right? Haven't done it.
I suppose so.
Okay.
All right.
I hear Bella, the beagle,
That's what I was
outside
looking
your
at
door.
as well.
Roof.
You have a tidbit.
I have a little tidbit that I just love because I've talked about this. I read The Anxious Generation, and it talks about smartphones and social media and the damage it's doing to our young generations.
Right.
My best friend's sons, who are in their mid to late 20s, for Christmas wanted and received new phones.
Okay.
Only they weren't new smartphones. They were a different kind of phone that's not a smartphone. And I'm like, what? Because I just found this out yesterday when we did a game night with them.
So are they dumb phones, or there's something in between a smartphone and a dumb phone?
I didn't.
Dumb phone.
They didn't show me because they're waiting for them. Their parents got them for them. But I'm like, why are you not having a smartphone? Because we were talking about dating apps. I'm like, how are you supposed to be on a dating app?
Right.
And they're like, well, we can just use our PC. We can just use our computers. They realize how much damage is being done to themselves, their brains, their mental health, all of it. And they're like, we're done with it.
Well, I mean, and it's I think it's hard for some people to rationalize, especially if you're younger. But, there was a time when you were in the car, you didn't call people back until you got to where you were going. Or there was a time when you didn't have all this information like immediately. And I think that they will find, they already are finding, that there is some damage being done by having all that access to everything all the time.
I'm so proud of them for being that self-aware. And they come from a tech family. They are very techie people. But Well,
maybe they finished the internet. So they're like, well, we're done. We finished the internet.
Maybe. I doubt it. But I just thought that was a wow moment for me. Like, these kids.
20s.
Who are, have relied pretty much their whole lives on screens.
Good choice. Let's see how it works out,
them.
or if they can do it for an extended period of time.
I'm excited to know how it goes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We should first start by saying we're going to be back on Monday.
Yes. We're taking the rest of the week off, and we love that you are here and showing up and consuming this. But we are going to be back refreshed
in the new year
for the new year, a week from today.
Okay. Sorry. In the meantime, well, you can listen to old podcasts. We have a bunch of old ones. Because we're at episode 178 now?
Yeah, 178.
So there's 177 other podcasts of ours, episodes you can listen to.
I need to look ahead on what the 200th episode would be. We should do something big for that.
Okay. For now, your question of the day, which you have an entire week to sit on and figure out.
Yep.
I love this one you came up with, Jen. Go for it.
What is a common old expression that you don't hear anymore? I actually saw that when I was scrolling through social media. I'm like, we're using that on our show. What is a common old expression that you don't hear anymore? Like, heavens to Murgatroyd.
What was the cartoon that said that?
I don't know.
Heavens
My
to
grandmother
Murgatroyd.
said that.
Okay, what about Dag Nabbit?
Dag Nabbit.
I think that maybe that's not a good example because usually it's
Dag Nabbit is a good example.
Well, usually it's like a bit of advice, like a stitch in time saves 9. What does that mean? What if I want to save 10? Then what do I do?
Well, a stitch in time saves 10. It doesn't rhyme though, so it sounds ridiculous.
Common old expressions. We love to hear them.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, like Curt said, we'll be back Monday. We want you to have a safe, memorable New Year's Eve. Here is to a great start to 2025.
How about that?
Cheers!
You know what?
Cheers to you.
I would say it's got to be better than 2020.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Curt and I asked Curt if he'd do this because we're going to be at the same New Year's party. We'll do a quick little YouTube short.
Okay.
That we'll post on YouTube that we'll have a fun message for you.
I love it.
All right. Make good choices, find joy, spread kindness, and find laughter.